Before we invite the speaker, please join me in watching a short clip on Sunlife Plaza project.
Right to go? Okay, the bottom line is this. If we get a 10 to 20%...
I'm sorry, Tim, the clip first. So, please play a clip.
Sunlife Plaza chooses modular construction from Vietnam to deliver faster, smarter and more cost-efficient development while maintaining Australian standards. Modular construction helps reduce the project timeline by 30 to 50% compared to traditional construction. It also helps improve cost efficiency, allowing the project to save around 15 to 25% through optimized manufacturing and better supply chain control. Because the modules are built in a factory environment, the overall quality can be controlled more consistently from production to installation. Modular construction also reduces on-site risks by lowering labour dependency and minimising delays caused by bad weather. In addition, this construction method supports sustainability by reducing material waste and lowering the overall carbon footprint. Most importantly, modular construction creates a scalable model that can be easily replicated for future developments. Vietnam is selected as a strategic manufacturing base because it offers competitive construction and manufacturing costs. Vietnam also has a strong construction workforce, skilled engineers, and growing capability in modular and export-based construction. With its strategic location close to Australia, Vietnam allows faster logistics and more efficient project coordination. Another key advantage is Vietnam's ability to integrate the supply chain, from materials and fabrication to final module delivery. In traditional construction,
Okay, it looks like traditional construction's out the door and modular construction is in. We're right to go then? Okay, the bottom line is this, that if we're going to get a 10% to 20% increase in construction costs, it's a really simple scenario in that trying to pass on 10 to 20% on the end line in square metre rates for sales costs and all of that becomes extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. Anyone in the room disagree with that? I guess the first thing to ask. I can't see many hands up. So I guess the important thing then is how are we going to change our thinking? What are we going to do better? How are we going to create a better margin between construction costs and sales costs? And that's one of the things that we've been certainly looking at with the Sunlife Plaza project in Hervey Bay, and we've certainly come up with the idea that modular is an important aspect of what we need to do with the hotel over there as well as the Sunlife apartments and the overall mixed-use development. Okay, so if we just move to the next, oh sorry, whoop, hang on a second.
Take your time please, Tim. I strongly believe you are the best speakers, public speaker in the world.
We'll go. Okay, how we will meet the current global challenges to make Sunlife feasible with any level of surety, because I guess that's what we all want, surety, as far as that's concerned. The cost versus income equation, we need to make it work at both ends. What are we doing on the cost end of the equation to reduce that? And what are we doing on the income end of the equation to create a better quality product, to create better demand, all that type of thing. Optimising square metres of saleable rate versus GFA cost. It's a really pretty simple equation when you boil it all down. Modular, it is the future, there's no doubt about that. 7 billion people can't be wrong. Procurement, a key to make costs work. How we're going to procure things in and direct procurement. And of course, we've been doing a lot of that with our Vietnamese colleagues. Mixed use development, I think a critical thing with Sunlife Hervey Bay is how we actually create a lifestyle product rather than just selling apartments or whatever the case might be. How do we create that square metre rate that's based on lifestyle than just apartment value. So how we add value, critical to the equation. Brands, what brands we're using, target market. That's why we've chosen, say, the Sunlife brand for the over 50s, because we know that's a target market who want a community lifestyle, who are prepared to pay for it, and they've got cash. They buy everything with cash, so valuations aren't quite so important. Happy to go through any of this with any of you later on, because I know I've got limited time. Lifestyle property versus living products, global collaboration with labour. How can we work with labour? Really critical thing. How can we bring, you know, if we've got 35,000 jobs they're saying we're going to need by 2028 for Queensland, another a lack of, how are we going to do that? Global construction expertise, there's no doubt about it. These guys here in Vietnam got wonderful construction expertise, and I think there's a lot we can learn from that. Sales collaboration, and I guess at the end of the day, changing our thinking on construction and educating buyers, say apartment buyers or whatever, that modular construction quality and delivery can actually be better than current construction methods. That's what's really important as well. Changing the buyer's mindset. As Deming said, it is not necessary to change. Survival's not mandatory. In other words, if you don't change, you won't survive. Really simple story there. Really simple story. Change management new. Most suffering comes from the failure to adapt and a resistance to change. So be prepared to change, be prepared to look at things differently, how we're going to do it, how we're going to make it work, because that's how things happen. And that's how things have happened in the past. Okay, no money, good luck. The modular finance challenge, payment and construction finance. I think this is a really important point with modular, because in normal circumstances, I go out to build a building, and I've built many of them. We're going to put our equity in first, and that's into the tray, and then we've got our bank finance behind that, and then you want to get your QS in, who's going to assess it all and sign off to the bank, and they're going to send you the money to make the payments. Quite often with modular, where you want to be building things in Vietnam and wherever, that creates a problem in funding. So we need to be absolutely across our funding equation. Because at the end of the day, if you can't capitalise the project properly, you ain't got a project. It's a really very, very simple equation there as well. So payment and construction finance. And that's something which we'd really like to talk to you about. As I've got up there, no money, good luck. So thanks for your attention, and any questions you have on me on the Sunlife Plaza project, very, very happy to answer, very happy to go through all of this. And finally, what Warren Buffett said, should you find yourself in a chronically leaking boat, energy devoted to changing vessels is likely to be more productive than energy devoted to patching leaks. Thank you very much. Thanks, Iris, and thanks for the invitation.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for your fantastic speech. In closing, the message from today's discussion is very clear. We are not just talking about building faster. We are talking about building